You've created the guest experience concept and direction, which you call heart-based hospitality. How did you come up with the concept?
Well, I used to implement the SOP-Customer Satisfaction concept when I was a training manager in hotels in the 1990s. I mean, everybody did, nobody questioned it, but I started to feel that something was wrong with it and that something intangible was missing in the guest experience at the hotels where I worked and in other hotels which I visited or stayed at. Alvin Toffler once said, "The illiterate of the 21st century won't be those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn and relearn." I had to unlearn what I knew, which was how to create a guest experience based on the SOP customer satisfaction concept and relearn. I had to relearn. And one day I came across a quotation in the Baha'i writings about care in which love and compassion are beautifully intertwined. And I thought, yes, love, loving kindness and compassion, they are what are missing. So I started to incorporate loving kindness and compassion into all of my workshops and the skills training, of course, and the staff and the hospitality became much warmer. And a major change came about later on when I came across ancient knowledge about human energy and the energy which is all around us and which connects us all. By ancient knowledge, I mean knowledge that is and was common in cultures going back up to 3,000 years or so, and which can still be found being used in China, by the American Indians, by the Aborigines in Australia, in Buddhist cultures, in Egypt, in India, and in Tibet too, for example. I also discovered that modern science was actually confirming what the ancient texts and cultures were saying about energy, about the body's energy field and about the energy produced by the heart. And I then realized that energy, especially human and heart field energy, was another missing element. And so I worked out how to incorporate it into the process of creating the guest experience. And I combined it with the process of deepening the staff in loving kindness, compassion and heartwarming care. And not only did I notice the wonderful effects of doing so, but I also noticed that the combination of the two produced much more change in the hospitality than each one on its own. There was a kind of synergy. And as I experimented, I saw how the staff changed and became much happier, and this changed the hospitality they provided. It was like a light going on in a dimly lit room. And I also saw the positive effects that this was having on the guests and on the guest experience as a whole. And over the last 10 years or so, I've added more elements to make the hospitality experience stronger in loving kindness and compassion, and also energetically stronger. In the future, people will take the concept of heart-based hospitality to far greater heights than I have done. And there's no point me doing so now, because the corporate world in the hotel industry isn't even ready yet to accept the concept and direction of heart-based hospitality in its current form. But regarding the name heart-based hospitality, I haven't always used this name. It reflects an evolution in my work. Back in 2006 I started to write articles encouraging hotel groups to stop being so proud, in their public relations material and websites about, satisfying the guests. And I said that hotels should upgrade their guest experience from merely satisfying people to what I called creating truly memorable experiences. Creating truly memorable experiences soon became a new buzzword, but for me the concept was misunderstood, and it became just another kind of materialistic, left-brain, SOP-oriented approach to hospitality without the spiritual element. That is an inseparable part of the concept. I tried to clarify the concept in articles, but the concept of creating truly memorable experiences just turned into another version of SOP customer satisfaction. and it remains that even today.
That must have been very disappointing for you.
Oh, yes it was, but it didn't surprise me. You know, the traditional approach to creating the guest experience is fixed in the minds of hoteliers generally, and it's difficult for people to see that there's a better way when they've spent their whole career inside the concept. You know, while the hotel industry seemed to enthuse over the new concept of creating truly memorable experiences, you know, I learned more and more about the energetic nature of the heart, which most people think is just a blood pump. And I learned about the powers of the heart and about how it creates the body's energy field, which extends out from the body and envelops and affects people around us. And I also learned about heart coherence, which one day will be seen as a significant way to increase a hotel's revenue. You know, I discovered that when certain energy techniques are used to make the energy of the heart coherent, the staff and the hospitality experience change very noticeably. And I also noticed that the energy techniques seem to increase the desire of the staff to show loving kindness and compassion to the guests. And I've seen this happen consistently over the years. You know, when the energy techniques were used together with a continuous process of deepening the staff in the spiritual core values of hospitality, you know, I discovered that there was no longer a ceiling to how wonderful you could make the guest experience feel. You know, that is a bit like finding the holy grail of hospitality. And as a result of discovering the energetic connection of the heart with loving kindness, compassion and heartwarming care, and the effect of this connection on my hospitality experience, you know, I changed the name of the concept from creating truly memorable experiences to heart-based hospitality, and I've used the term ever since.
Oh, that's very interesting. But do you think that the hotel industry will adopt heart-based hospitality in the next few years?
Unfortunately, you know, I think that this concept and direction is far too radical for the hotel industry at the moment. Indeed, none of the 80 or so hotel groups, from Marriott and Accor downwards, you know, which I've contacted again and again, have shown any interest in it. But the day will come when heart-based hospitality will become the norm, and probably every hotel group will then make up their own name for it and claim the concept as their own. Indeed, already some hotel groups have created names for their guest experience which include the word heart. But if they're still using the SOP-Customer Satisfaction concept, then their guest experience won't be heart-based. You know, hotel groups must understand that heart-based hospitality is a journey and a direction for hospitality to go in. You never actually reach a final destination in heart-based hospitality like you do in SOP-Customer Satisfaction. You know, a hotel will never be able to say, "We have finally created heart-based hospitality throughout the hotel." You know, it's like an endless ladder. You keep climbing and you get higher and higher up the ladder, but you never get to the top of the ladder because love and energy have no limits or a ceiling. You know, in contrast, in SOP Customer Satisfaction, when you carry out an SOP, you know, a service activity, perfectly according to the steps in the SOP operational manual, then you've reached the ceiling of that activity. You can't go beyond that ceiling. You know, you can embellish the service activity with technology as much as you want, but you can't go beyond the ceiling of that SOP, because an SOP in the SOP Customer Satisfaction concept is not about feelings or emotions such as love. It's about quality, correctness, efficiency, and speed of service. And because of this, there's a ceiling to the performance of service activities in SOP Customer Satisfaction. You know, two large hotel groups, which I won't mention by name to spare their blushes, even have an SOP for the smile. Now, you mustn't show more than 8 teeth when you smile. You know, I wonder if they ever fire staff because they don't smile according to head office's standard of quality, correctness and efficiency for smiling. You know, heart-based hospitality is very different because every SOP is infused with love, and consequently there can be no ceiling to a service activity because there's no ceiling to love or kindness or compassion or heartwarming care, which are the core values with which every service activity is infused. You know, in heart-based hospitality there's no limit to the level of loving kindness, compassion or heartwarming care you can show in an SOP. And the more you develop the spiritual capacity of the staff, the more they'll be able to infuse the SOP with these core values, and the more beautiful the hospitality of the guest experience will become. The heart-based hospitality poses a problem for hotel groups. You know, in order to go beyond SOP customer satisfaction, you have to get involved with the spiritual dimension of life. And I think that this is an untouchable and taboo area in corporate minds. You know, one day they will have to accept that, you know, genuine hospitality is a spiritual path trodden with practical feet.